Hey friends, how's it going? Today I got something in the mail. Wonder what this is. Look at that. All right, let's get out of the box. So open it up, and what we got inside? Got a business card, sticker, Starburst. This little cool box matches my bike color too, black and red, right? Let's see what's inside here. Take another sticker, another business card, this little thing here, and then the controller. So let me pull this out. So that's the flash unit. Oops. This is the cable that you use to attach to the computer, and this is the cable. This is the cable you use to attach to your bike. Now, I'm not going to film the portion where I load this into the computer. You need to use a Windows-based system. It's not compatible with Mac, unfortunately, so I had to use my son's high-powered gaming tower system. It didn't have a lot of files I needed, so I had to download those, and it took a very long time for me, and I'm not completely computer illiterate, so it's not BT-Moto's fault. So it's all hooked up. I've updated this, and I've got the program on the computer ready to go. So the next thing I need to do is connect this to this, and then go out and read the bike. We'll read the bike's ECU, download that file into here, then take that file from here and send it over to BT-Moto. They will create the new file, the new flash, send it back to me. I'll upload it into here and then download it into the bike, and then we're good to go. So basically, I'm not going to film too much about all that because I think a lot of people are going to have different experiences with their computers and all that stuff. I'll focus more on the after and how I feel about the actual tune and what it's like to have it. If there's any sound changes in the bike, horsepower, torque feelings, all that kind of stuff. So stick with me, and we'll get through this and have some fun. For those that want to see a step-by-step guide on how to use the tuner, read the bike, upload and download the file, I'll leave a link in the description below to BT-Moto. They have their own video showing you how to do that. All right, now I'm out in the garage. I'm getting ready to hook up the tuner to the bike, and you do that through the diagnostic port. And on this bike, it's located next to the battery, and it's probably the same location for all the other Boxer engines like the GS, the RT, the R, and the RS. The S1000RR, it's underneath the rear passenger seat, I believe, from seeing videos online. But let's go check this out, where it is and how to get to it, and get you one of these things. These are pretty cool. They're great for working on stuff. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so we're here on the right-hand side of the motorcycle, same side as the exhaust. The battery is behind that right there. So let's get up close and personal with this. And then you can always get your torque set out, or you can just take this little tool out that's underneath your seat. This has the right torques to do most of these type of screws around the bike, these torque screws. And basically just got to undo this one, and then behind here in this corner, and then this corner is just some rubber little grommet type things that hold it in place. I've already unloosened it, so I won't bore you with that. And you just pop it out of each one of these, and there you go. So now we'll turn on my handy flashlight thing on my head here. Wow, look at that. Okay, so this is the diagnostic port right here, and it's held in place by a little hook right here. Let me use this tool. This little hook right here, and it's there's another plastic piece that it slides down. I'll pull it out and show you. So you just push back on the hook, and once the hook clears, you should be able to pull it out. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Yep, here it comes. Okay, so you see in the back there, this slides down into that groove, that slides into that groove, and then this hook here holds on the top part. And there it is. Now you gotta press on both of these side pieces to remove the case, and I'll need 2 hands for this probably, yeah. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I pushed on both of them and kind of pulled it out a little bit so I can do it with one hand. So there you go. Okay, and that's what it looks like. And let's get to the next step. I'll hook up the tuner and get to it. For parts of this, when you're doing the upload especially, I believe, the tuner tells you to have a power source. So basically I'm using my battery tender right now so that the bike has full power, because the bike will power the tuner, and you don't want any interruptions with the power, because it could mess up the ability to upload and download. So that's important. Okay, I've plugged in the unit, the tuner, and here it is right here. Once I plugged it in, it comes up with a menu. And so I'm just gonna follow the selections. You're supposed to go with work first. Pick the right bike. 1250 RS, there we go. It's R1250 RS. And it is a 20. Warning, please connect your vehicle to a stabilized battery. Okay, so I've got the battery tender in already. And then make sure you have your key with you, because I think it's gonna ask to, here, let me put this on my leg. It's gonna ask us to turn the bike on and off, I believe. So let me actually stand up. Put this on the seat maybe. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit OK. Switch on the dashboard, check the connections, and press OK. So we'll go ahead and turn on the dash. Oh, that's the lock. Okay, so go ahead and hit the OK. Wait starting communication. Switch off the dashboard to continue. So let's go ahead and do that. And then hit OK. Okay. Switch on the dashboard, check the connections. Okay, let's go ahead and switch the dashboard on again. Okay, it's up and running, so hit OK. It's identification ECU, switch off the dashboard to continue. Okay, let's switch that off. Okay, go back over here. I feel like I'm playing tennis, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, hit OK. Protocol identify flash 0718. Okay, so that's the flash protocol, so go ahead and OK. Now it's asking for ID, so go ahead and do that. Warning, please connect your vehicle to a stabilized battery. It is. Switch on the dashboard, check the connections. Okay, let's go back up here. Okay, everything is booting up there. Let's go back over here. Hit OK. Starting communication. Identification ECU, wait, operation in progress. So this might take a little while, so I'm gonna pause it here. Okay, it was only a couple minutes. Switch off the dashboard. Go back over here. Come back, hit OK. Task successfully completed. Okay, back in the garage here. I finished downloading or reading the ECU. I uploaded it to BT-Moto. They're gonna get their flash done and the tune and ship that file back to me, and then I can load it in the bike. I didn't record all the computer process stuff. You can check online. Again, I'll put the link below. Oh, excuse me, I'm hiccuping. But have on hand a lot. They ask you a lot of questions. So I'm gonna ask you about, your name, address, and all that stuff. They're gonna ask you for your invoice number for when you bought the tune from them, so I have that handy. They're gonna know how many miles you have in the bike, so I have that handy. What else they ask you? They ask you if you've done anything to the bike. So there's quite a few questions about if you've done a tune before, or if you've changed anything about the bike, if the bike has any kind of flashing warning lights on the TFT. if the bike has any issues right now that you can't ride it. The VIN number, they want to know the last 7 digits of the VIN number, so I have that handy. How you found out about them. What else? Yeah, so you gotta have that stuff kind of all handy by the computer for you to answer those questions. And then once you hit OK, then it sends the file off to them and then they'll get it back to you. But stick with me here. I'm going to keep adding on to this video. I'm waiting for the my titanium headers to come in. Tomorrow I'm going to get the bike serviced. It's a 24,000 mile service, but I have 25,000 on my bike. So it's a kind of a big one. They're doing the oil and checking the valves, looking at the shaft drive. At around 37,000 miles, they'll check the shaft again. If there's any issues or wobbling or corrosion on it, they replace it for free, so that's awesome. Yeah, so they're gonna do quite a bit of stuff tomorrow on the bike. And once that's done, then I'll hopefully I'll have the tune back from BT-Moto. I'll have the titanium pipes, the headers in. I can put all that on the bike, and within the next 7 to 10 days, hopefully I'll have that all finished. And I can cruise out on the bike and let you know what I think about the tune and the headers, and if there's a sound difference or torque or horsepower, all that good stuff. It just let you know honestly what I feel about this. So these headers are from Akrapovic to match the slip-on titanium I have and I've had for a while now. And of course the tune is from BT-Moto. Neither one of them paid for this. I paid for my products myself, so they have no say in this. And it'll be a completely honest review from my part. So looking forward to it. Stick with me. See you again in a little bit. Hey friends, I'm back with the magic of video. This is like 3 days later. Actually more than that. But anyways, I did get my tune back from BT-Moto. It took them about a day or less than a day. And I did it I sent it to them on a Friday late in the afternoon, and they actually got it back to me on Saturday, which is pretty cool. So, and their packaging says 1 to 2 days they'll get it to you. But I've talked to some other people and they all said it was, less than a day or a day. Anyways, got that. I'm gonna do the tune in a little bit here. But first I'm gonna take a noise sample with a decibel reader to see what this bike sounds like with the stock headers and my Akrapovic black titanium slip-on. And then I'll take another reading after I do the tune, because the tune may change the exhaust valve, and if the exhaust valve is a little bit more open, it's going to be a little louder. And then I will take another decibel reading when I put the headers on. But let's get to this reading. Let's turn the bike on. And we gotta make sure it's in neutral. I'm on the other side of the bike, but I think it's in neutral. Let's see, yep, okay, it's in neutral. All right, let's go over here. So I'm gonna put this, I have this downloaded DB reader. I don't know how accurate it is. It's probably not too bad. I'm just gonna rest it on my seat here, and then I'm gonna start the bike and we'll see what kind of readings we get. Okay, here we go. All right, so that looked like it was giving us between 80 and 87, 88 decibels just on a regular cold start without too much revving. That's it. So I'm gonna do the tune now. I'll do some recording for that, and then we'll check the decibel reading again, see if it's about the same. Hey, Darth Vader, I've got someone that wants to talk to you. We're on the right side of the bike. Here's the battery panel. I've taken that off already. And the diagnostic port, I've already removed the cover and taken that out. And then down here, we've got the flash unit with the cable all ready to go. So I'm gonna plug that in here and start the process. Bye-bye. But before we start that process, we want to make sure that we have constant battery power. So we're going to plug in our battery tender, which goes in right here on the right-hand side of the bike under the seat. Okay, one hand trying to do this here. There we go. Okay. I use the Optimate battery tender, which is specially made for BMW. Okay, we're ready to get started to install the tune. I've got constant battery power. I know that because my quad lock battery light is on, which means the electricity going into the bike is constant. So we're good there. So we'll get the flasher out here. Let me just put this down here. Okay, so you can see that. Oh, there we go. So it says work, and that's what we gotta hit first. So let's hit OK. Now it says writing, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Okay, so I only have one file in here, one tune file. I think you can put multiple files according to the BT-Moto video. So I only have one, so I don't have to worry about that. So just go ahead and hit OK. Okay, it's in progress. Wait operation in progress. Warning, please connect your okay, stabilize battery, did that. Switch on the dashboard. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, there goes the dashboard. Now back over here, let's hit OK. Wait, starting communication. That says, warning before starting with the procedure, do the writing, perform the reading of the vehicle, which we already did, so okay. Identification, ECU communication process, wait, operation in progress. All right, so there is one part of this that the video from BT-Moto said takes a while, so I think this is it here. But it's moving along. I'll fast forward. Okay, switch off dashboard. Okay, switch that off. Okay, let's hit OK. Connect your battery to a battery. Yes, did that. Switch on the dashboard. Okay, it's coming online. Okay, back over here, hit OK. Starting communication. ECU programming. Okay, so as I said, this comes up. This kind of warning thing, there's a bunch of clicks happening. It said it's all normal. And shouldn't worry. I don't smell any smoke. So I think we're good. No fires to report of yet. And then the flasher is just here. So this might take a while. I'll come back in a sec. Okay, looks like we're at the home stretch here. Okay, a bunch of clicking. Okay, now the screen is back to normal. And switch off the dashboard to continue. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, hit OK. Warning, connect. Yep, I got the battery on. Thank you. Switch on the dashboard. Let's go back up here. Okay, that's booting up. Go back over to here. Okay. Okay, this should be the end of it, I think. Switch off the dashboard. Oh, okay, I gotta do that again. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Writing ECU completed. Yes. Bum, bum, bum. Back at the home screen, it's complete. And just to let you know, my flash took 12 minutes to upload, so it wasn't that bad. Okay, now we gotta start this bad boy up, test the sound, and, well, we gotta put the cover back on. Test if it's any louder because of the valve. That's the only reason it would be any louder, because the headers are still the same. And this is a very important warning though. This bike is out of warranty. It's a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty, whichever comes first, and my 3-year came first. But to do a tune on a brand new bike, you're really opening yourself up to voiding your warranty with BMW. So be careful with that. I was told when I bought this bike, a bunch of friends said, oh, just wait for it to come out of warranty, and then get headers and a pipe and a tune, and it'll be like a whole new bike to play with. So that's what I did. But there have been occasions, especially the S1000RRs. Those are, the more sporty race bikes, and people want to tune their bikes right away because they want them faster, they want more horsepower, they want to smooth out the mid-range and all that stuff. And if you do that, you could, void your warranty if something happens to the bike. Now, BMW, I guess, would do an investigation. And for example, if you're riding and, your rim cracked for whatever reason, that has nothing to do with the computer system. So they probably would, give you the warranty on that. But if it had anything to do with the engine, they could technically say you're SOL, buddy. So again, warning. I don't want to be the one to, encourage you to do a tune and then do it, and then you have problems down the road. So everyone has to make their own decision with that. But let's go into the next phase of this and do a sound test and then a ride. Okay, the tune is all set. Let's turn on the bike, make sure it's in neutral. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and start it up and see what kind of noise we get out of this guy. So it was about the same in terms of decibels, but when I revved it a couple times, I don't know if you could hear it, it was raspier. I could definitely tell a difference. And even at idle, even though the decibels were about the same, the tone was lower. And when I revved it a couple times, it was kind of a little raspier, and it was very immediate. As soon as I hit the throttle, it was immediate revving. And this is one of the problems I have with the bike. There's kind of like a dead spot, if you will. Like, for example, if you're sitting at a light and you rev it to get ready to leave, and you want to, you're on a little hill or something, sometimes the bike wouldn't really respond. It would just be like a kind of a half-hearted, like, ugh. And then other times it would be full on, like, whoa, So that's one of the things I'm hoping this tune will fix. Also, puttering around the parking lot or through my neighborhood in first gear, the bike would lurch forward, back and forth. It was like the fuel delivery and everything was just not smooth. So I'd usually have to ride around with the clutch pulled in and just release the clutch when I needed power, or put it in second gear and kind of ride around like that. What else? I've seen online that it also helps smooth out the quick shifter, which should be really nice. I'm really used to this quick shifter though, and I know how it works, and I can hit it. I can make it pretty smooth from second all the way to third, but you do have to get on it to make that happen. So we'll see if there's any difference in that. And then just I'm not really looking for any more torque. This bike has already got a lot of torque, so I don't think this tune is really going to do much to that, maybe a little bit. And I'm not going to see it, but it probably does open the bike up on the high end a little bit. I think this bike's top speed is, on BMW's website, they say 125 plus. I've seen some people online get it up to around 142. So with the tune, I think you probably could get up to 135, 140, something like that. That's it. So let's go for a ride and check it out, see what happens.
Okay, we're off on the road. When I started the bike, again, I don't think you can really hear on the camera, but it's not much louder. And we did the decibel test there, which was about the same. It's just like deeper. To be honest, I don't feel too much of any change at the moment. I think the throttle is a little bit more responsive. My friend that did his S1000 XR, not the RR, the XR. He did that, but it has the inline 4 engine. He said he was getting a lot of, like, after the tune, he got a lot more of the little pops, snap, crackle, and pops when you downshift and you're slowing down. I had that before a little bit, and I just heard a couple just now when I was slowing down. Out of that turn right there into second, I picked up a little bit. Seemed like it was a little bit faster than what the bike normally did. Oh, okay. Second to third, that's pretty smooth. Again, this quick shifter on the Boxer engines is just well known to be a little bit clunky. If you want to go from first to second, second to third, you typically have to get the RPMs up over closer to 7,000 revs before you hit the gear, and even then it'll push you forward a little bit, kind of jolt a little bit forward, but it's not that bad. If you go from first to second and you're at like 4,500 or 5,000 or 4,000 revs, something like that, it's gonna jerk you forward pretty noticeably. It's not a very comfortable thing. So I think most people that have Boxers have just become accustomed to just using the clutch all the time. I've talked to some people that just said, I don't even use the quick shifter. To people like myself that I'm used to going first to second with the clutch, and sometimes even third with the clutch, and then fourth, fifth, sixth, I'm just quick shifter up and quick shifter down. I do quick shifter down for all the gears. It's not bad at all on the downside when you're downshifting. It's pretty smooth. All right, I feel okay. I'm in fourth gear. I was around, let's see, 3,500 revs, about like that. Going 50 miles an hour, and I just give it some gas and see what happens. Okay, people. I feel the urgency there. It wants to take off. This bike always wanted to take off because it's got great torque, but I feel it. Yeah, I feel it in my. It's weird to say, but I feel it in my butt. I feel it in my arms and my thighs and butt that the bike is wanting to leave without me. But my butt is saying no, staying put. Especially with my Sergeant seat, which I love dearly. I mean, this thing was a lifesaver. It just allows me to ride this bike for 2 to 3 hours straight without my back complaining or my butt. With the stock seat, my butt would just start going numb, and it was terrible. But the Sergeant seat also has this kind of pitting. It's got little kind of leather dots all over the seat, which make it quite grippy. So the bike's not going to leave without me. I'm kind of planted in there. Okay, so that was kind of a little test there that I could definitely sense. And I think these things are okay. Car, what are you doing? These things are something you have to experience. I can't, you know, I'm sure if there was some kind of machine hooked up to my bike, it could actually output what's actually happening, but you have to just go on feel. And I've had this bike for over 3 years, 3.5 years, so I'm very familiar with how it moves and what gears and how it wants to run. So, okay, one thing I just noticed here was, wow, yeah, the downshifts with the quick shifter were always pretty smooth, but I have to say I just downshifted from third to second and I didn't really feel it too much. That seems pretty cool. And another thing I just noticed is I was going along in fourth gear, downshifted to third, was getting ready to slow down for this red light here. And normally if I downshift into a gear, take my hand off the throttle, the engine braking on this bike is quite substantial, and it really slows you down pretty quickly without touching the brakes. And when I downshifted from fourth to third, took my hand off the throttle, there was definitely some engine braking going on, but not nearly as much as it used to. It kind of let me coast a little bit more with the feeling that it was engine braking, but not as much as before. So that's another little thing I've noticed. I just shifted from first to second at a low RPM, and it threw me forward quite a bit. So I don't know if there's any way a tune is really going to fix that. The gearing of the transmission of the bike. In defense of the quick shifter, though, I mean, what is the real purpose of a quick shifter? I mean, it's right in the name. It's to shift quickly. And when do you need to shift quickly? When you're going fast, when you want to go fast. So I've noticed if you've got the throttle on a steady, you can only use the quick shifter up when you've got throttle. And you can only use the quick shifter going down when you're off throttle. So if you're on throttle and it's a steady on, like you're not cranking it from, let's say 0 is no throttle, 10 is full throttle. Let's say you've got throttle at 4 and you're holding at 4, and then you go to shift. That's where you kind of get your clunks. But if you're shift in the process of going from 4 to 10 and you shift, you still get a little bit of forward momentum or jolting, but you get it's a lot smoother because the bike is going quick and it's in the process of accelerating. So now that one I just did, I got on a little bit. I can hear the engine. So there was still a little bit of jerk forward, but it wasn't very much. And in the process of going a little harder on the throttle, that little jolt forward is no big deal. All right, I'm going to start testing out this engine braking theory of mine and see if that's the case. If that's the case, I'm going to have to start getting used to using the brakes a little bit more, because that engine braking, let me shut this, the engine braking on a car or a motorcycle really saves your brake pads. Let's see here, I'm in third gear, I'm going to let off. Yeah, there's still some engine braking for sure, but it seems like a little bit less. I don't know if I'm just imagining that or not. And I know one of the guys around this area that has an RS, that was one of his complaints, because he has some other sport bikes. They were inline 4, and he liked the RS, but his complaint was the engine braking was just too much compared to what he's used to. reverse right there. Yeah, okay. Just first gear going around that corner, I could feel in the bike that the bike was wanting to go. It was a funny feeling, and then once I got on the throttle a little bit to hit second, it's, yeah, okay. There's definitely some urgency there in the throttle now. More so than before, definitely. If you have a Boxer engine and you're new to the Boxer, if you want that quick shifter to work a little more smoothly, you got to get on the throttle or just use the clutch. There we go. Oh, it's nice and cool in here, all the trees. Oh my goodness. That's funny. You ever sneeze in your helmet? You gotta try your best not to sneeze on your visor. So I tried to kind of hold it in and shoot it downwards. Yuck. I'll clean my helmet when I get home. So I'm going to do some shifts right now with steady throttle at around 4,000. Here comes second gear at 4,000. Watch my head. Yep. There's the buck. You get on it, you don't get that. Second, downshift, nothing. First, and no real herky-jerky. Yeah, see that? First gear, I coasted all the way in. Without this before, if I had done that, the bike would have been bucking back and forth because it's, from what I understand, it doesn't have a smooth fuel delivery system at that point, and it just kind of jerks back and forth if you slow down in first gear with no throttle, no brake, no clutch. And there I just did second, downshift to second, downshift to first, no clutch, no brake, and quite smooth. And instead of bucking, I felt the bike just kind of go into a neutral, like it kind of just let me coast without bucking. So that's cool. That's one thing fixed. Quick shifter seems to be a little bit better, and there's definitely some urgency on the throttle. I was talking to a friend, and well, a couple of different people actually about this, and the inline fours I think feel or see a much better result from the Flash because their mid-range isn't very good. They're more high-end, so the Flash gives them a beefier mid-range, which is more real world. I mean, when you're riding around on the street, torque is your goodness. No, that's not my bike. But in the real world like this, riding around, torque is your friend. That's what makes you, allows you to hit the throttle and disappear real quick. Where inline fours, a lot of them you have to wind them out. You gotta to hit those hit that high horsepower and get to those insane speeds. So my goal with this tune was if it could smooth out the shifter a little bit, get rid of that bucking at low speed like in first gear when you're going through the neighborhood or a parking lot. And if it opened up the high end, like I don't go that fast, I'm pretty conservative, but there's times I like to get on it. And if the top end was opened up a little bit more, that would be cool. I'd be very happy. And so far I'm happy with this. I just got to test a little bit more. And then also, once I get the headers on, that'll be cool. Ooh, look at that view. Nice. Look at that. Slow speed, no jerky jumping. Let's see, off the throttle. Look at this. That's perfect. No brakes, no throttle, no clutch. I'm going 1 mile, or let's see, 9 miles an hour. Before the tune, right now the bike would be like bucking back and forth, trying to, like it can't breathe. And I think essentially that was the problem. It just couldn't get the air and fuel mixture right at those really slow speeds. So that's one plus right there. Let's see, there's no more traffic here. And there's like this crazy S-turn right here. Check this out. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but this thing tight. You go up around the corner here, tight again. It's a little dangerous right here. People tend to come over this yellow line sometimes at you, so I try to go a little bit wide. And the other cool thing about this shift cam technology in this boxer engine is you could be in the wrong gear. Like right now I'm in 3rd gear and I should be in 2nd. Now watch. It just goes. It just punches. The cam changes and you get power instantly. Whereas another bike you would bog out. You would take it a while to pick up the RPMs and get you moving. And the best scenario there is your downshift. My SW Motec tank bag comes in handy. Got a bottle of water right here. Now that I'm stopped, I'm sitting here. I've been riding for a while. Another part of the boxer engine that's lovely is the fact that because both the cans, the heads are out in the wind, they both get evenly cooled. So like I said, it's almost 90 degrees, which is hot, and I'm sitting here. The cans are out in front of me a little bit, but they're not that hot. I can't feel heat like burning my thighs or rising up into my helmet that you get when you're with a V-twin or high-end inline 4 cooks the inside of your thighs typically. But that's another benefit, and because they run cooler, they're going to run better and more stable. But that's just another little fun fact of the boxer engine. Right. I bet you didn't know you were going to get a sightseeing tour along with this BT-Moto tune review. I like this area. This is so nice. See where the lake is right there. So these houses here on my right hand side, most of them have boat docks right on the lake. Wow, nice to have money. See, here's the lake right here. This house on the left, they built a bridge across the street to their boat dock. Just crazy. Look at that. Nice. Like it. Ooh, that's nice. Hey friends, so I've pulled over. Tomorrow night is Moto Social, which I go to every month here in Austin, and do some interviews, check out some bikes. tomorrow night's, I just came here as a fun reference ride because I've never been here before. It's called Captain, what is it called? Captain Quackenbush Coffee House. So this is where Moto Social will be tomorrow night. But I just came here to talk about my experience so far with the BT-Moto. Of course, I've got to get this on the highway. I've got to get on some straightaways and really open it up and see what's what. But I've already can tell that the quick shifter is a little bit smoother. The fuel delivery and air mixture at really low RPM in first gear, just kind of coasting through the parking lot or a neighborhood, is really smooth. It doesn't buck anymore. It used to buck a lot. That's gone. And there's definitely some urgency on the throttle that I can feel. Again, this is a very torquey bike, even without this tune. So there's always been urgency at the throttle. It always is just ready to go real fast, like from 10 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour, just quickly. But I feel there's more there, and I think the big test will be going on a straightaway or highway somewhere where I can get up to some higher topper end speeds and see what this is all about. And I will try and do that tomorrow, probably after I put my headers on. I will take it for another test ride with the headers, and I'll do some higher end speed tests with that setup. But that's it. I'm going to call it quits here. I'm going to just chill out here for a little while because it is rush hour and everyone is either rushing south or north of here, so everything's kind of blocked up. So I'll just chill here for a little bit and then I'll head home. But that's it. Thanks for joining me. Any questions about this BrenTune from BT-Moto? Let me know in the comments below if you've done it, what your thoughts are, if you want to do it, if you're interested in doing it. Let me know. I'll be happy to chat about it, and tell me your experiences with it, especially if you have a boxer motor. What do you think the changes were in your boxer, especially if it's the same one I have. It's just the 1250, the R1250. Yeah, let me know. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Thumbs up, comments, all that good stuff. I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Later.